for you. Get them gears moving.
Don't be a stupid bitch.
So, no speak English.
Choke the life right out of you.
Yes. Yes, that's right, infidels. It's time to kick off your week with the spiritual realignment. Black it all out. The Great Reset. Ready to enact martial law over your nation's capital. Because Hacker Hamin rules all. In professional wrestling, there is no killer crosses. There's only double crosses. Here on the Monday Locker Room. Your law. What is good, guys? What is good? Hopefully you had a great weekend. I don't know. I'm in that space of like, days don't really matter that much. I guess it does because I got to watch Raw tonight to review it with Russo brand tomorrow, man. So
Monday Night Misery.
But we're here in the Twitter trenches with that K100 back and forth and just having a good time with it, man. And I know it'll be a good time today. Kicking off your week with that inside wrestling talk, plenty of hot topics, business topics to talk with nobody better than my man, Art of the B to the V, back in the place to be on MLR. How you doing, pal?
Doing great. So everybody know we do have government pressers that are going to fix everything coming up here this week, right? And I would like a little presser of my own to officially let the Hamin Army know that I am working on a handshake deal right now. My contract has expired. It's yet to be renewed with HMG. I got to meet with HR later this afternoon to try to iron some things out. But hopefully we'll have that done for you.
Well, I look forward to seeing your documentary where you lament being let go. So yes. I'm sure it'll be your best work yet. As the chat room fills up here on Ben Hamin YouTube channel and Hamin Media Group channel, you guys appreciate that. And anywhere you're subscribing, I know we're in between kind of a home base right now. So happy to be here to make your day go by a little quicker and talk shop, man, before we kick off another long, hot week of summer here in August, man. But it's been a good week at Ravens Joint. So I'm happy to be doing business and doing HMG stuff and working on a new LLC as well, as an advisor. So very interesting time business-wise for me, but these are great little escapes. And it was a good time last week, man, going. I know we had done the Monday show, and then Tuesday went to Kabul Skill in New York to induct GGP into the Immortal Wrestling Hall of Fame. Be a part of his match with Big Bill Collier. Talked about that last week. In fact, Kaz can go back and clip that because, or you can. I know you're doing great work on YouTube side. That the clip about Bill Collier and GGP is very tantamount to like what fans are like with Killer Kross. I'm a big Kross guy too. We've been a huge supporter since his Impact days. I'm an even bigger supporter of Bill Collier and GGP, obviously the bookie monster. It was honor to get to go back and be with him for a minute. And I always get do you miss it? Do you miss it? And really, I'm so just grateful to be doing business at Ravens Joint. And then on a Tuesday night to get to do a show, it was a good time, especially anytime I get to hang with GGP. It's a fucking win, man. No matter what. And I'm feeling good. I worked out hard yesterday where I wore the Rip Rogers shirt today. I feel like getting the metabolism going. Now we got to see about getting on some TRT so I can make my comeback.
But Ben, how often do you get that itch? I know with all the successful stuff at Ravens Joint, you guys are applying kind of those business practices, philosophies. But man, it is hard, especially once you get back around the ring, maybe the locker room as well. I mean, just get around the team, you get that feeling, that camaraderie, man. That rush, that adrenaline overcomes you. And I was telling Jimmy T a couple weeks ago when that was one of the positives I did take away from Unreal was seeing some of the backstage stuff and not necessarily how it was presented, but how it made me feel. About being there early and flipping the light and the ring arriving and the setup and greeting the crew as they come in and all the talents and all that and getting ready to open the doors. That was the major rush for me.
Yeah, man, all that leads up to it, and like getting to see, dudes in the locker room that I've been working with for 15 years, and we've been journeymen on the road together in New York. Don't get to hang with as many OVW heads as I like, but it's an interesting question you pose, dude, and it really comes down to, did you get your fix of the addiction? And the addiction is holding the fans in the palm of your hand and creating a moment and being the spotlight and the I, me, my. Even though we're doing business, we're doing it together, and it's walking that tightrope in front of the fans. And are you going to deliver? And when you stick the landing, there's no better feeling for a carny performer. Really, it doesn't matter where you are at a county fair tent show or WrestleMania. I'm sure is unbelievable too, where you have to build in delays. But yeah, man, it's gonna sound as the locker room, be honest. There's certain fans I like to see that are loyal and come, but like I'm just performing for at the indie level a lot of fucking goofs that I don't want to be around or see, you know what I mean? And I understand that people are on the spectrum, and fucking that's like a moth to a flame. Pro wrestling is for that clique, and that's awesome. I'm glad to have provided some outlet in their life to hate me or enjoy me or what have you. But to go and drive to backwoods towns through Amish country and perform like that, like when you're there in your mind, it's one thing. And it's even true of OVW, dude. I hate to say this, but like I look back at my time so fondly and, of earning my stripes there. And then when you go there to visit, it's like, oh, I romanticized it in my mind. You know what I mean? When you're there. So that's human nature. And it's fine to go back and walk through the halls of your high school, but I haven't done that in over a decade, maybe 20 years really. Yeah, probably close to. So we can build things up in our heads, and that's an interesting part of the human psyche, but I'd rather kind of keep moving forward. It's not a knock on the fans, it's not a knock on that, but Ravens Joint is my next book in my life, where I have my Chicago time. I have my before time in college. Your mom goes to college with Random Acts, bro. And like, that was a huge component that I don't talk about a ton on here. Like, and even the time before that was me as a child actor. So like, this is the next evolution of me, which is the business mogul me and I, me, my, and I'm excited for that. So to go back is kind of the song Glory Days, you know what I mean? Trying to like live through the magic of a home run that I hit as a junior in high school. Like 30 years later, do I need to be that? No, dude, I keep evolving and let the universe take me where it does and capitalize on what opportunities present themselves. But to go back, like you miss it, I can do it. I did it for 18 years. I got my fill. Some people, that's all they have, and they define themselves by that, and they want to do that their whole life. I don't begrudge them that. Like, I just my back can't take it, and how much more am I going to get out of it? You know what I mean? Where am I really going to go with it? So, yeah, the Andy Dick years. The Andy Dick years.
I'm sure you're a little bit of this way. When it comes, people ask you to compare.
Big Purse is back. That's what I'm at. Sorry, Big Purse. Big Purse is back. Yes. Go ahead. Thanks for the Scott Woodford sticker and some funny shit online too, bro. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. But big shout out to Scotty there. Glad that they got the purse back from his mom. Some scumbag stole it out of the back of their van while he supposedly is supposed to be helping load the wheelchair, and he took off with the purse, and they caught the guy down the road.
Oh, I thought I didn't even know that backstory. I thought you were just saying because Big Purse is back on the show, and but we got an actual purse thief robbery gone around.
His mom was loading a wheelchair in the back of the van. This gentleman supposedly said, "Hey, let me help you out with that." And as he had clear view, he grabbed her purse and took off.
Wow. Wow. Well, I'm glad we fucking fucked that guy's day up. What were you saying about our
probably the same thing, because people ask me regularly, like, "Hey, man, what's the difference between, you transition to the track, between that and wrestling?" And I just regularly say it's nice to have a full fucking envelope at the end of the night.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of years I worked for no envelope, bro, and I worked, to pay my dues, knowing that it would pay off in other ways. Like you get the opportunity to work with a legend. I sell that picture for the next 10 years and make money off that. So am I going to cry the fucking blues over $40 when it's not going to break me this week? And I know the opportunity I'm getting, and, being part of the brain trust, and like, it's not like guys are working. Oh, we saved $40 on that. They know they got every weekend. They know they got $1,000 worth out of me, creative and, interaction wise. So it ain't about that. And if you're doing it for that, sure, you need to get paid. It's more of a sign of respect. Is anybody really making their nut off the indies? Even if you worked 4 weekends a month, like guys like GGP and Bill Collier do, but they also got fucking day gigs, bro, because they got families. So it's not about that part of it. Obviously those guys been in it, they deserve to be at the top of the card and get the envelopes that they command, which still isn't what fucking goofs in NXT who can't work a lick around those guys are getting 3 times that for not being on the road, not having families, just paying ridiculous condo prices in Florida. So with Ravens joint, dude, that's just the future and is what it is, and I'm super pumped for it.
There we go, brother. As we jump in the headlines, the 2 big ones that have been making the rounds this weekend, do you want to go streaming, or do you want to go viral with the big headlines here this weekend?
Oh, whatever you want, man. You call the plays.
You're
the offensive coordinator.
The chat is already talking about it, so we'll go ahead and jump into this as this pertains directly to the world of professional wrestling. But yes, was it last night? Officially yesterday, the contract had ended and the podcast was released. Round 2 for the Karrion Kross, the Killer Kross, Kevin Kross Chronicles on YouTube. I think over 400,000 views already. The rallying cry, we want Kross. And this kind of just led you up through the SummerSlam experience with him, hitting some media, some book tours, some revealing things about WWE. Obviously, the chat's buzzing about it. The IWC's buzzing about it. Ben, your initial thoughts. I know there's a few things that we're going to deep dive. Was this the right direction? What is the message? What does this mean going forward? But just a canvas statement to get us going here, Ben.
Yeah, well, I'm going to maybe even tread a little bit lightly here because I got mad respect for Killer Kross, and I don't want to dive deep into what I believe is the first steps of him controlling his own destiny and creating an underground ECW type buzz for himself and stooging off things where I think it might go, you know what I mean? Without talking to him first and being like, not that I'm trying to work my audience, but I want to see this guy's magic.
Just see the vision a little more before you try to break it down or critique.
Really just to talk and be like, hey, dude, whatever I can do and what your vision is, use me and keep me in the fucking dark if you need to, because I don't want to be a director and a writer trying to think for this guy and cross and have parallel thinking and start stooging off his creative is what it comes down to. I respect him too much to be like, let's play the guessing game of where I think he's going to go.
You don't want to be maybe over counterproductive on what he's doing here.
Right. I don't want to be, well, see, Hamin called it 3 months ago. Yeah, dude, this is this guy's next chapter in his career where he gets to maybe open the door for himself, and everything's a worked shoot and he's doing it at a high level. Now, I did watch most of this new video that he put out. It's an interesting take on how to show the fans and endear yourself to them. You know what I mean? So it's a different kind of look for him as opposed to the Killer Kross. I'm an assassin. You know what I mean? Quentin Tarantino. But it's shot very well, and the sound bites are all A+. And the guy goes through the fucking camera every time you put it on him. And he is a very interesting storyteller, and just a humble dude, kind of asking, like, why do we have to play these fucking politics in order to get an opportunity? And then we have to act so humble that I was on SummerSlam, when the reality is I should be a main fucking storyline guy, and I know it, you know it, but if I'm to say that out loud, I'm fucked, right? Like, there's all this underlying premise, which is fun to play with, and he's very adept at painting with the brushes that he has control over, and then doing it with a smile on his face, and he stooges some of that off of this, like, no-sell culture, you know, that we are in this mafia for, that the fans know about, but they don't understand what it's like when you're getting tested, and it's like, you're gonna sell for this, you're not the one, and like, okay, dude. And then the work shoot promo about the guy in the truck. So all that's interesting to me, and here's where I will speak on this. Yo, let me speak on this. Sorry, unless you wanted to interject anything there.
I just, my overall thoughts. I'm trying to like re-gear my direction with the conversation now. I didn't think, hearing people talk about it was like, oh my God, he's going after him. He's going to get so much heat for this thing. And then obviously you have the work shoot conversation. I thought in general, for the direction, the tone, the message of the video, was a very nice grassroots campaign type of feel.
Yeah, and that's an interesting pivot. You had said that in our producers chat, and like, I come off as triggered in there sometimes, but like, because I knew we would talk about it. Like, so okay, that's where we're going with them, and then Game and the rest of them will sweep in and go, see, this is how you make a guy viral, that they want them, and they'll act like they're the ones that came up with this, when we're watching the Daniel Bryan postulate all over again of them not wanting to put him over because he's an ROH guy and fucking he's not big enough, and the fans want it and we dictate. And then once they finally bite on it and make a fucking $1 billion on Yes shirts, they go, see, we were in on it the whole time and didn't. No, we know you're not. We know you're not. And they're going to use that in this same way. And I go, that's such a big crock of shit, because you have a guy who's worth $10 million easily in t-shirt sales, possibly a month, not a year, a month. He could be fucking making that with this guy.
He talks about how shocked he was to learn that he was number one in the merch sales online.
But then you don't capitalize on that. You again put him on the back burner, acting like, oh, they'll want it more. Like, you think you're smart with that. No, the iron is hot. You strike fucking now, dude. You absolutely go with them. You put it on them and go, this is how we take this guy and use our top guys to get him over, not cool him off to make him want him more to bring him back later. Like, that makes zero business sense. It makes no sense whatsoever, and goes right back to the wrestling mafia heat, where this guy's in his fucking documentary talking about no sell culture. Because if you sell it and go, I'm the number one t-shirt seller, why the fuck are you not using me in the storyline with Logan Paul? And even he said Logan Paul went to bat for him. So the guys are trying to do the right business based off the work shoot promo, but something ain't getting there. Something ain't right. He's trying to book himself in an angle with Game, but Game calls the shots. Okay, you only got Game and Stephanie versus Scarlette and Kross. You're not going to go with it? Even in a power struggle backstage type thing, you have her give a one-word answer in a backstage pre-tape and we're supposed to believe that's some genius that led us to this point? No. When they have a hot property and because the crowd wants it, unless they say it's hot, you ain't getting over, dog. And we're going to teach you a lesson. If you keep feeding for them, that just gives them a reason to put some weird silent heat on you. Like, so when we get to him being over and they're Horowitz themselves, that's bullshit. Because in the beginning, this guy was over in NXT in his entrance. And what are you doing on the show? You're cutting his entrance with his wife. He's just doing cut the commercial, come back, he's in ring. Those are fuck you moves, bro. That's not anything of like, let's be smart and show the office trying to keep him down. So when he finally comes back up the mountain, like, you don't send somebody down the backside of the mountain only to bring them back up when you already had them going back up again. It's fucking dumb, and it's a lie, and it's the weird part of this wrestling mafia that will forever continue, I guess, with until somebody is in a position of power with integrity that wants to stop playing those games and wants to run a show as a cohesive cast. Even if it's like a cast from a fucking old school musical, everyone comes out and they take their curtain call bows at the end because nobody understands what anybody else is doing. It's all compartmentalized. Somebody goes to bat for you. It doesn't come to fruition. Why? Don't you dare ask that question because the heat will be on you. So that as long as you have a system that continues like that, you'll never have a complete cast with trust, knowing where they're supposed to be, being inspired, intersecting worlds, truly wanting to do business for one another. You'll have, this is my guy, you go work a fake injury angle, come back, stomp somebody. Like, it just continues and continues that way, dude. And that's also what we signed up for, knowing that, like, you want to be the larger than life figure, but in the ring to control the audience, but behind the scenes, for some reason, we have to keep playing these stupid games just to go out there and entertain you at the highest level, you know? And if you are in the mid card and you do too good, you just outshine the guys who are in the inner clique and they're going to fucking cut your throat even worse. It just keeps happening.
Cutting the throat. I got a two-parter on that for you. First, let's start with the company itself, management. You say that F you from management. What if, when Kross is brought back, gets re-signed, those details are released, and yes, we know what's going to happen if it's through Unreal or something like that. The company's going to take credit. We planned it this way. This is our mastermind, process and all that. Is that an intentional, them coming out, siding with them, saying, we orchestrated this, we are the puppet masters? Does that cut his legs out from under him right there, that this whole thing was a facade, that it wasn't, this heart-to-heart thank you to the fans, those of you that are speaking up, that are moving this, that are pushing this grassroots movement? Nah, you were played.
I don't know, like you could build them into a Steve Austin right now. The working man.
I think that, but I mean, but if the company says, "Now we did this," does that immediately derail the movement, or is it where you want, because you don't want to?
No. It'll be down the road that happens. Like, now is the time to build them as the, oh my God, Brian Pillman showed up on the show guy. You know what I mean? Right. Lights up, lights down. And that's where I don't want to go.
Rallies out in the parking lot or things like that. Or
that's where I don't want to go and stooge his stuff off. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Of like where I'm coming up with ideas.
But I think you are right. This is with the Kross persona. It's very different to me from like a Daniel Bryan, a Kofi Kingston. This is a much more like a Steve Austin, where they started showing up with the 316 sign, started making their own T-shirts.
This is before that. This is you're thinking broke the glass. He already did his ringmaster thing and he's been up there. So it's a Steve Austin out of order. This phase is Steve Austin going to fucking ECW out of WCW.
Superstar Steve.
Yeah. So you could think of everything up to this point, if you're to draw the correlation, as Stunning Steve in WCW, even though Kross has been in WWE and Impact, right? But like, that's where we are right now. is the ECW window before you come back as the fucking, even though Vince put him as the ringmaster, let's say Vince already did that with the fucking stupid mask and shit like that, right? Like now when he comes back, it's broken glass Austin. Like, so that, yeah, he'll get there and they'll claim credit for it, but you already had the opportunity once to get him there, and now you're taking the long way around to fucking then act like, well, I meant to do that. No, you were incapable of doing it the first time because of political BS, clicks, and da 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 da. You had the same canvas to paint, the paints to put on the canvas, and you don't understand how to make the picture properly.
Inside the locker room itself, throughout the documentary there, the podcast, we want to go with it. We heard, regular mention, praise from other stars about how well that they received in the locker room for their efforts. We heard Paul Heyman talk about the potential for Kross, the kind words from R-Truth about being selected by the people, and that's a championship that the company can't give you. How much of that locker room is, keep doing this, man. Keep pushing it. Keep pushing the management, knowing eventually it could crash and burn, and there's a spot for them.
Yeah, I mean, beware the devil you don't know versus the one you do. It just seems like, bro, this is part of what it always has been and will be. I don't ever see a director at the top of the fucking list who really gets it, who's not playing, doesn't have their inner clique that's changing and it becomes cutthroat. It's just part of the biz, Briz, unfortunately. I mean, well, the way I talk about it is a utopian, like, group mindset, but it's not going to be that way. So why waste time on it, Yeah, I'm excited to see what he does with his creativity, if he's given his freedom and what level of work shoot this is. The guy's brilliant. Like, what are you going to do to direct him? He's chosen a path. There's plenty of opportunities in the way he's going to go.
A couple of comments here from the chat I thought were kind of interesting. I'll start with Frank's Pickle Barrel, and not necessarily, he's asking, do you think Kross will go work indies? I want to take that a little bit further because he's going to be so busy with the book tour. Really, there's not really an indie to shine on right now. I think. How would he occupy his time now? Just focus on the book tour and social media?
Yeah, it seems like it. If you want to earn and you got a book and you're one of the hottest acts and you timed it the right way, how convenient that he can go and do that and get over and be seen at UFC and things like that. And in the meantime, you could build Brock. And when he comes back, could we truly elevate Killer Kross, who is a fucking, I mean, just put a video out on how to break guys' legs.
Well, that's because
Brazilian jiu-jitsu expert, and Brock is an NCAA champion. Is there something there when we come back? I don't know.
Well, Final Boss, Gage, he makes a comment here, which is kind of interesting. It's a good timing story for WWE, as this takes eyes away from most that would to be the vocals against Brock Lesnar, or the very same that are the vocals for Karrion Kross. So their attention is directed in a different area.
Oh, I guess that's one way. I think people will switch on a dime to bitch about one thing and fucking put over another. So, like, that's a nice sentiment and maybe true in some respects, but a small percentage of the supermarket population, no doubt,
Hey,
but yeah.
Supermark's got disposable income and disposable time. They can bitch and complain about everything at once.
Yeah. Killer Kross has millions of dollars right now, bro. Like, to be honest with you should get with a writer and be like, fuck wrestling, write me a treatment script. And he probably could do this without any writer. He could do it in his fucking sleep, really. A treatment script for his own Netflix or NBC show that fucking is him and his wife and they're, Bonnie and Clyde, or like super secret spies, or, something like that, dude. And they work together to foil espionage around the planet. And they could easily become mega stars unto themselves and leave wrestling behind. And a lot of times that's kind of what you have to do. And then once you're away doing that, when you come back, you're way more mega over, and they're using you as simple spots where you shine every time.
Yeah, that's what I think it's surprised me. You look at the personality, just the look, the energy. You got to believe that somebody like Kross could easily make that transition into the screen somewhere, big screen television.
Ari Emanuel could make that deal happen tomorrow.
That's one of the best things now to be tied in with WWE is just to have that connection.
Yeah. Yeah, it just depends on, are you going to keep playing the locker room game, or are you going to go, I'm bigger than all this, I'm so much bigger than this, and fucking show that this is how you book me. You know what I mean? Like, I can be all these things, an international spy type Jason Bourne character. You know what I mean? Yeah, right out of Vegas. You could even call the show Killer Kross if you want to. The name's made for it, right? Like, whether it's like a Snake Plissken type character, whatever you want it to be, it can be all those things. And to not have that on you could have all that on your fucking wrestling show, but instead I would just be like, all right, cool, man. I'm good with taking bumps. I'm going to go do a TV show where I got a stunt man, and I just got to act with my super hot wife and become a star way bigger than wrestling. Like, that's really where his focus should be. And you want to talk no sell culture, that's the worst thing you could get to them. Like, if you're doing little documentaries about if the fans are behind me, that means you want to stay in wrestling, and that's fine. But the reality is this guy's a Quentin Tarantino level fucking act. So use him at that level, and then there'll be marks for him.
I would say I really appreciate, Ben, how you made sure to craft your words, make sure the conversation didn't hurt business for anybody.
No.
One of the things that I've been very irritated with lately, and we'll get your take on this, you already got people out there like Meltzer who supposedly loves this business, but coming out and so adamantly, oh, this is a work, just pointing out things maybe against his competition. This irritates me. Instead of letting people try to enjoy it, sit back and watch, that someone they look to as an insider, what's going on here, it's just blatantly cutting down the business that could be hurting the business overall for these talents, for the fan experience as well, just so they can try to get over. Dots on that at all?
Yeah, that's a problem, because if this guy claims to love the business so much and be an insider, well, this is an insider work shoot angle if he's calling it out, and he doesn't see the bigger picture of where he should just be like, what can I do to help? Use me to help this. Don't tell me, just do it. And I understand. And even if I have to have egg on my face later, so be it. Let me help you. Instead, this is that, and call out the moves, and then, okay, dude. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Great. It's been starting to bother me.
People
are
invested in this to get worked. That's why you come to wrestling, to escape and fucking feel the drama and get worked. Not go, oh, the girl's legs are in the second half of the box, are fake, and she got her legs folded up in the first half. Oh, cool. Thanks.
You rock, buddy. Thanks.
Fucking asshole.
That was another piece that I took from watching, the video that Kross put out there. And I know, and I've been guilty of this. It is fun sometimes to poke a little fun, the grown man crying at ringside that gets caught or something like that. But, when the fans are going out of their way and they're giving him gifts here, there's something endearing about that the art form, that people are so invested in this as we come together as a community, that they can live vicariously through this to get through their day-to-day that might not be as over the top, or there is truly hard times that they're trying to deal with and cope with, and they use this as an outlet.
Or people who are definitely disabled, in the chairs and like whatever physical ailments they may be born with, bro. Like, that's when all this shit goes out the window. when you're truly like, oh, I got to deal with I'm going over and da, da, da. Well, a guy's fucking holding his kid with multiple sclerosis who's 8 years old and is in full diapers and has a heart monitor on that's directly connected to the fucking hospital, bro. And his other brother's in a wheelchair, who I just described to you, absolutely exists. And when I see them in Canada, every time I look at that fucking father and go, what a fucking hero this guy is. I'm sitting here trying to provide a little escapism for this fucking family, and whatever I can do when I see them, you're going to fucking do it. You get so cunty about, oh, they didn't push this guy, dude. Look over there and shut the fuck up. That's a fucking dude who's got real life things, and I'm going to play my character to make sure any dollar that's spent here by them, and they shouldn't spend no money getting the show, and I don't think they did. I don't think Chris LaPlante would ever charge them. I give them shirts, I get made by tens, whatever they want, dude. You know, like, you forget being in this mafia that there's people that are you're doing this for, that are those fans. And when that time comes, you just do what the fuck needs to be done, right? You know, so, and to see Kross do it, then the other side of that, all the smart goofs who fucking, they should strap a rocket to you every time. And you're just like, yeah, dude. I go, thank God I'm not a fucking baby face. And I just fucking rip these goofs apart, bro. I would just say the worst shit to these people all the time. Triumph the insult comic dog the fuck out of them, and just, they would try and come back, and I just use their own words against them for years, bro. I used to have 20-30 minute fucking pre-show or intermission stand-up sets at fucking, like, in Rochester, working for Hellcat and at UPW, and I would just rip these people to shreds, bro. And it was so much fun, and I would have so much heat when I came out, but I didn't give a fuck, and I just couldn't imagine being the babyface side having to, oh, thank you, and sit there and listen to their dumb opinions over and over and over, because they fucking listen to podcasts or read whatever dirt sheet, bro. And that's not as, I mean, we got a lot. I just pretty much probably just described everybody in the chat room at the same time. But if there's, you know, for me watching that, I would just be like, dude, I would be fucking slaying these people right now.
So, hey, we have a learning tree here. You know,
yeah.
You're always giving those advice. So
It's me out there in character. It's pretty much a line to get roasted. Your interaction with me is to get torn apart verbally. You know what I mean? It's unless homeboy steps up, and even plenty of people in wheelchairs come up into the table, and I go, I know you're faking it. I saw you running the track yesterday. You're just in it for the check. Fuck you, I am. Like, you know, so no mercy on anybody, bro.
I can so see you doing that shit.
No mercy. So why would I? You know, it's fun for me. It pops everybody who's on the side of me too.
Let's do a little meet and greet, pro wrestling meet and greet for dummies. What is the proper etiquette for a smart fan when meeting a babyface?
Oh yeah, put them over.
Do's and don'ts.
Yeah, put them over. Get your picture and fucking Don't creep on girls like you're fucking trying. They're only fans, bro. Like that might get you fucked up. Like it might get you.
That's exactly what they've been looking for.
Yeah, you don't know who she's dating in the locker room, boy, and fucking out of the corner of your eye, you might catch a hot one thinking you're fucking, these are strippers or whatever that they're letting you get handsy with them. Nope, don't do it. Because I'll fucking call you out. Get your cum-soaked fucking masturbator hands off Christina Marie, moron. Like, you know, and make you look like a fucking creep, because that's my job, to protect sis. Absolutely. And if it's you being fucking whatever, it's going down, and I'll embarrass you in front of everybody. And so that's rule one, you know.
Hands to yourselves, weirdos.
Yeah, they work, like, it does work both ways, bro. Get some fucking horny backwoods fucking 42-year-old divorcee, mommy of threes, and they come up with their girlfriend.
They feel it muscles.
Bro, they are up on you. And ladies love the bad boys, and I stare at their big gimmicks in the picture or whatever. Oh, put over their big gimmicks. And they're feeling the arms because, not to say I'm super sexy, but ladies love the bad boys, and fucking I got big arms. So
if we had any $5 ass slaps.
I thought about doing that instead, and I didn't, because I was like, no, they're going to get me not just for physical violence, but sexual abuse as well. But then I would go, well, I'm just like any dominatrix. People are paying for the pleasure, dog. They're sick fucks. What do you want me to do, Judge? But then I think about it, and you do feel not like meet or get off me, but you're like, all right, this is a sale. I'm gonna fucking sell this person an 8x10 in a shirt, and even if they're baby faces, like that's built into my character. That Ben Hamin is a ladies' man and a womanizer, like So I knew I could get that, and then it would get heat if they had a husband or anything like that. So it works both ways. So I definitely think about those things. Now, if I'm a young, fresh-faced baby face who's sexy as shit, jacked and six-pack, get out there, get oiled up. Part of your job is selling the fantasy, because these ladies got to go home and have some fat, hairy hog riding on them fucking while she's thinking about you, like the young, strapping young lad that looks like a Chippendale dancer. Yeah, that's part of your job, dude. This motherfucker is male version of Hooters. You are out here selling sex. You're out here selling greased up abs. Don't think you're not part of that. There needs to be some boundaries. But my point was, it does work both ways. You'll get these weird dudes from Team Never Touched a Titty getting too close to the girls, and you'll get horny old fucking toothless Marys coming up to fucking feel on you because they don't got no man in their life. That's part of what we play. There is a weird boundary there. Aside from that, buy something. Don't come up and fucking want a full interaction and fucking da-da-da-da, and then, all right, I'll see ya. Like, you know what I mean?
Thanks for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Like, you just ate up time, and we're only out there for a few minutes. You gotta get your stuff, say what's up, and fucking understand that this is where we pay the fuel to get from show to show. You know what I mean? And you become a fan of ours. I want to give you a good interaction, but if you're just there to fucking hang out and act like you're over and I'm smart to the biz and you can talk to me normally, like, okay. All right,
So so that conversation, keep it short, keep it sweet, be on point. So don't talk business. Just, hey man, maybe like a memory real quick. Man, I remember that. Thank you so much for that. We loved it. But don't start like breaking things down, right? Like,
right. Where's GGP? Where's Blaze? Like, I'm down to answer and come up with something and da-da-da, put my guys over. But yeah, I mean, you're there to lose yourself in the moment, as I would say. So lose yourself in the moment. I've created this universe for you to be lost in. And, if you want to go up and feel how jacked Mike Skyros's arms are, and that gets you through the lonely nights of winter, then so be it. We're not going to say no. You can ask, and then it becomes like a picture thing, and she's feeling it. Oh, like, we'll make something out of it. But you got to, understand. But again, like a moth to a flame, people who are a little farther out on the spectrum sometimes don't have the social behaviors or wherewithal to understand where that line is.
What about etiquette for interaction real quick here with like after parties, because they're big on indie scenes. You can, for a big sponsor, get everybody to go back there for wings and drinks.
That's on the worker. That's dangerous. Usually you wouldn't want to heel there, because now you're killing your heel's heat and you're exposing them, or else I got to be in character, or it's the super smart fans that know me. There are some like that I definitely.
Did you run it, like, especially in Louisville, like going out to hang out with the crew at Live or something, and someone's like, wait a minute, that's that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Terrorist.
It wouldn't happen as much there. Like in Louisville, it was when I was in the grocery store. Shit could get dangerous real quick.
You're just picking up some milk and eggs and There's that goddamn terrorist in aisle 3.
Yeah. Oh, I had the infidel shirt on. It was me and Mondo. And this old lady, fucking probably in her 70s. Infidel? Who's an infidel? Me or you? And I look at Mike and I'm like, fuck. I go, you are. No, I ain't. Get the fuck out of my country now. And here comes fucking dudes coming down the aisle. All right. Here we go. Like, that's how fast it can switch, dog. That's how fast. And in Louisville, I was never too worried because the mafia is there with me. So anybody steps up, you got big Luke Gallows behind you. You got Drew McIntyre standing over there. Like, yeah, fuck around and do something, dog. It's like, you know, like if it's not your fault and you're not being a dickhead in some town, you want some shit, like the code will be broken quickly, dude. Like, I wasn't there the night that Khalil laid those two guys out, like called them sand and bomb, like right to his face and diamonds. He sent them both to the fucking hospital, almost killed them both, bro. And like, but they all, like, people at the bar all said it was a hate crime thing of them trying to fucking bait him into it. Little did they know the guy is a fucking pretty much legit killer, came from Lebanon army and fucking is trained in about 5 different martial arts. Fucked around and found out, dog. Like,
wow.
Yeah. Khalil sent them both to fucking intensive care.
I know you touched on that story, but I don't think you've ever talked about the intensive care part of it.
Yeah, dude. And they admitted when the cops fucking that they said it. Like, probably didn't want him to show up again and whoop their fucking ass, dude. Khalil's no joke. Omar Akbar is no. Ali should have been a fucking lawyer. His fucking mind is brilliant. Khalil is, dude, the fucking. You look at him and you're like, this guy is the fucking pit bull that can snap at any fucking time, without any stigma, bro. Like, I love the guy. I would always look. I'm glad he's on my fucking side. So. In Louisville, there was never any fear of that because all three of us were around. And then I also had big Turk John Chelik, who's bigger than all of us, and he's a fucking big walking brute. These guys got a heart of gold, but if you fucking get him a snap, you can't turn him off. You cannot turn him off, bro. It's just robot destruction mode until he runs out of juice. Ain't scary to be out of the bar with those guys, bro. Sometimes I would avoid it. I'd be happy to be home with Rachel and fucking not having to be out on the tang hunt and all that shit. You know what I mean? Because with those two, it's like walking around with fucking dynamite in each hand going, who's going to light one? So I fucking dare you to light one. See what happens. Insurgency are fucking crazy different boys, dog.
Holy crap. Well, been talking about some real deal badasses.
Thankfully, Ali could step up because he had a real Kentucky accent and would diffuse situation. Hey, man, these guys ain't, you know. So it was fun times, man. I love those guys, man. What a great crew, dude.
Other big news breaking here. Was it late last night into the morning? But it looks like Paramount is purchased the rights to the UFC, $7.7 billion for 7-year deal. And it looks like this is going to include everything. You're going to be able to get all the fights. No longer, they're moving away from their pay-per-view model. So big news at the top of
$7.7 billion, bro.
Billion. 7.7 billion for 7 years.
Where's that money coming from?
You got me, brother.
Yeah. How does 7.7 billion? I mean, so what's the breakdown? UFC has X amount of fans that are super fans that subscribe and buy this X amount of pay-per-view. This is what it generates.
Mm-hmm.
We're moving the entire library over to Paramount. That is the company that holds huge billions of dollars in debt, right?
Yes.
That's why they just split them to Paramount and Paramount Plus. Am I wrong in that?
Yeah, but they're not. I don't think they're completely done with everything. There's been a huge split in there because then they have something. All these movers and shakers and acronyms in the streaming world is crazy because they're just shifting everything right now.
Back to the postulate, right? So what is the amount of crossover that people want a full WWE network experience with UFC through Paramount that will get them to shift times the amount of months they subscribe times the amount per month. So if it's 30, how much is it? $30 a month for that?
I'm looking which one? I'm sorry.
For Paramount Plus.
Let me look that up here real quick. Unless the chat can throw in. I was just kind of reading through the
Let's
full
just say
details
30.
here.
Let's just say 30. So 360 per user. Let's say you get 3 million users, 360 times 3 million.
All right, I'm looking it up here. Paramount Plus. Oh, just give me a normal.
That 900. That should be $1.8 billion per year.
Yep.
Yeah, just off the top of my head. $1.8 billion per year times how long is the deal for?
7 years.
7 times that. So you stand to make.
This looks like Paramount Plus Premium.
Let's
is
say
$12.99.
$12.6 billion. You bought it for 7.7. Projection should be roughly plus minus standard deviation 5%, $12.6 billion in subscriptions over X years. That being said, none of that will probably work out. Why? Because in the overarching media realm, we've seen over the last 20 to 30 years consolidation of media companies going from 40 in the 80s, 40 to or 80 to 40 in the 90s, now down to pretty much 5, 6 total ownership companies, whether it's Univision, Viacom, yada, yada, yada. Now, what did they do? They took your cable bill that was $100 to $200, $180 to $200, and said, no, we're going subscription-based model. It's all carte blanche. And won't you feel good because you just went from paying $210 down to $5 to $15, and 15 is way less than $210, sure. But now you got to have this subscription, and this. Okay, I got 7 subscriptions at $15 a piece. Now I'm only at $105. Oh, well, that's cool. Good. Oh, guess what? 2 years later, price is probably going to go up $10, double and triple. So by the time you've got that, plus now you're subscription addicted, the entire package comes to $260 when you add it all up or forget to cancel a subscription because you had to get all your shows from Disney Plus to Hulu to fucking Paramount, Instead, so we had the illusion of choice. They broke it down, conglomerated, got you hooked on subscriptions, raised the subscription price without giving you any extra, so it's shrinkflation. Really, it's a trap to get $50 more out of you. Now they will go, get rid of subscriptions. You can get it all in one place on new SpaceX cable, and they will resell the entire fucking package again at X amount of price.
So everything coming back around.
And this is how media conglomeration, regulation, deregulation, monopolies, monopoly breakups work, and it's all an illusion. And every time the price will go up while you get less service and think like, oh, I can get it all in one place now. How convenient. They're selling convenience and illusion to you.
Yeah, kind of interesting here. Of note, a little plug there for Suck My Balls SMB, a South Park podcast. This Paramount Plus has just picked up the South Park as well. So I know Maddie be making that jump over there to kind of bundle those as well.
You pay for the internet. I'm surprised it hasn't gone this way. Just paying for internet alone, which has probably gone up 60% in the last 10 years. It's all there from onemax.top to swatchseries.is to bhflix.sh to Sports Surge, Stream East.
Inside, because there's been a lot of talks, starting mid last week with the announcement of the WWE and ESPN deal with, them switching that model and now that's going to go to a $30 a month for all those premium and some kind of archives, but that's still up in the air. We don't know what all content is switching over. But in wrestling terms, so now you'll need ESPN, Peacock,
No, I won't.
cable.
I
well,
won't
not you.
do-
I'm saying what they're pitching.
I
to
don't
you.
need any of that. I need a
Netflix and
fucking
all and all of
HDMI
that.
cable and fucking the internet. That's what I need. And get the fuck out of my life.
This whole thing jumped out to me is, as you pointed out, is I think it was about 2 weeks ago we had a conversation where even Nick Khan was like, when we need a reference, we look at the NFL. I figured this out. There, to watch all the NFL stuff, you need access to 8 or 9 networks or streaming services. That's how they have spread theirs out for the ultimate dollar in sports and entertainment.
Yeah. And that is what it is to get on a bunch of these different services. So you are baited into subscribing to them all. That's where we are right now. And then once those ledgers don't match up or people start cutting services because they jump to the next thing, then it'll all be like, see, they tried to get you with all that hooking you on that. There's already apps that look at your phone to see which subscriptions you aren't using to cut. Like I've seen that commercial on.
Yeah, that Rocket
Yeah.
app.
Like, so they're already pushing towards that mindset. Like these things don't just happen. Like somebody had a good idea. No, it's all planned. Like we've hit peak on what we can do and diversification of apps and getting people hooked. And now they don't have money. So let's act like we're fucking Big Brother coming to help and save you and give you some dad advice. But it's an app that takes care of it. You subscribe to the app and pay for it. Yeah, but it saves me. Like that's bruise touching. Oh, why does this hurt? Oh, why does this hurt? It really is a complete exposure of operant conditioning and marketing, bro, and how they control it all.
Should there be, and I think I know what you're going to go with here, is we're talking about that spreading out your audiences, moving your potential to grab that cash grab. Should fans be surprised at all? I've seen some rumblings here that TKO took one property, bailed from ESPN to go elsewhere while moving a separate property there. That's just putting the chess pieces back, right, to make sure they're continuing to get that maximum dollar.
Yeah, you want to have your testicles in as many fucking ways as possible. It's when I thought these words might be going away, but I've seen them from the Netflix execs and the ESPN announcement. Synergy. This is the synergy between this is the flywheel. Like if you're a hard work a day dude, you ever really use the word synergy and flywheel? These are marketing executive VPs that understand they have a huge conglomeration and have created the illusion of choice. And it's how do we get maximum value out of all of these vehicles of entertainment across the brands that we own and are invested in and using them. And that's smart business, but it's done under an illusion. It's not out in the open of like, whatever it is, ConAgra owns these properties and are part of this media conglomerate. So that's what, you're going to get the mayonnaise from ConAgra on this ad. You're going to get Lipitor because they invest in that because they know mayonnaise causes heart fucking you're going to get all that. Like it's just not shown to the 85% who don't got a clue.
Just remind me, if you want a BLT, you got to go to 3 different stores to get your bacon, lettuce, and tomatoes.
Yeah, but synergy, flywheel. Yeah.
There we are. So yeah, the big news there for UFC.
Dude, if I was a fucking if they were bold about it, I would have an NXT tag team called TKO, whatever it is. Obviously means knockout, and they knock guys out. But one guy would be called Synergy, and one guy would be called Flywheel. They'd be lucha guys, fucking. Or one guy, you've got it kind of with Axiom, but they missed the fucking ball with it.
And when they're on television, it blacks out. You have to go to a different streaming subscription to watch their match.
Got to go over just to watch the fucking Flywheel.
All right, for the next 10 minutes, we need you to flip over to Peacock to pick up this version of NXT. Yeah. Speaking of, we'll give a little shout out. Triple Mania. K-Dog and his boys. Hope to see that he's back. Do you think he'll be back on commentary, or is he going to be wearing too many hats with Triple Mania? He's going to want to be backstage at Gorilla this upcoming Saturday. K-Dog, Triple Mania is on Saturday.
People want to fan the Flames. I guess I did. I don't clap back. I just post a couple things from a man Disco. Big respect, K100, Feeney, and Conan, and Di.
I was at work. Were they stirring the shit again this weekend?
Yeah, well, fucking Disco was, and
never.
And putting over the WWE great show, and I just tweeted back the gif of I put the quote unquote great show, like he was comparing AEW WWE, and it was the Lyra Velcro fucking soft shoe routine in her big stupid shoes.
Them Becky stompers.
He tried to clap back of like Netflix lies about the numbers. I don't believe this, and then the Earth is flat. Like, dig on conspiracy horseman, which pops me. He's a fucking funny dude. And then I just put out a piece from the Y files about the Van Allen belts and NASA pretty much contradicting themselves and exposing that they're liars and have been their entire life. And subconsciously, that should set up the fact that if NASA lies about things, then do you think a media company would lie about something simple as numbers? If that lie is true, ergo, and no response after that because he's smart. He knows I'm a smart dude. And fucking, I don't need to go at him personally. Why would I? I got respect for the dude, but I try and show you my train of thought when you want to dig at me about being a conspiracy guy, and then most of the conspiracies that I try and talk about end up being truth 99% of the time. So. It's almost like I have intelligence, almost.
Nah. What do you know, man? You're not one of the five.
Conan,
you're not one of the five guys, man.
When it comes to those guys, I understand, bro. Dominic's their boy. Dominic's about to go be top AAA dude from what I've read. Awesome. I think the kid is fucking one of the best in the biz right now. Absolutely. Conan's got his deal with what he's been working for almost a decade with WWE now. And they want to give him a Legends contract, and they fucking are giving him the book, and he can get to be the voice of Lucha and the crossover. What more could you want in the third act of your career? You know what I mean? Like, brilliant. I do hope he isn't pushing himself too hard with his kidney issues, and if there is a donor that comes through, I got one bum kidney, so I can't give you the other one, K-Dog. I'm sorry. You don't want the kidney stone one. That one sucks. So they also have to walk this line of no sell in politics, and fucking there's nobody probably better if you want boots on the ground training in PR, making sense, and you're moving everything to Las Vegas, then Disco Inferno, bro. Maybe Killer Kross because he's there too. And so Sin Bodhi and who else is over there? Fucking did the frog splat. D'Lo Brown. Like, that's your legit boots on the ground. If you're moving shit out of Florida to over there, those are the guys that are going to want a job and will be great for that job, dude. So that's why I don't want to go strong style. Not that I'm holding back by any means, but those guys are definitely connected in now. And what you say on a podcast, the Stooges are listening to tell that. I'm kind of surprised Bully Ray really goes as honest as he does with as plugged in as he is now. I kind of respect that a lot more. And sometimes he's blurring the lines and working it, you know what I mean? But it's I'm sure it's an interesting time for them because you get over with your audience by talking truth. But then once you're back in the power structure, that's the way more important of where we need to go with things,
You are talking about a generation of the talented discipline that knew how to walk that fine line and blur professional wrestling and reality.
Yeah.
They're operating on a different level than most out there.
I agree. And I think that Conan understands that what the bigger opportunity is, and do you have to kayfabe your audience to some degree? And you kind of do, bro. Like, that's why they're the audience, and you're the ringmaster. You're the fucking mastermind behind it. And there's a lot more than just K100 listeners depending on Conan to make sure the shit runs right. There's a shit ton of Mexican wrestlers that want to, you know, get their shine, and he wants to showcase them the best way they can. And now with Dominic there, that's just going to bring even more eyes on it and build Dominic's credibility. So it's tough to, like, with my respect to those veterans, go in and talk shit on WWE when they're working hand in hand. And I know that could come back to fuck with them. That's the last thing I want to do is fuck with their money, because that's the fastest way to get heat and get truly buried in this business. Not that, but again, not that I really should give a fuck about the business, but I respect it because I've moved on in my career. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, coming up this Saturday, the 16th, streaming live, I believe 7 p.m. Eastern. It is Triple Mania, available on YouTube. And we are going to have a live watch along party right here on the Hamin Media Group channel. So you can join us next Saturday for all that fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm starting to learn a little bit about the Lucha Libre style. So it's one of those things I can just kick back and kind of be a fan of and watch it. I like the characters, the over the top zaniness of it. So going to be a good time. Ben, was any other headlines you wanted to hit on there?
I watched the Brooke Hogan TMZ 20-minute shoot. Did you get a chance to see that?
I have been. I actually had started looking into a bunch of this. Jimmy T, man, he's been like way down that rabbit hole. It's pretty fascinating if that damn Scientologist killed him.
Yeah, dog. And then there was a conspiracy that I'll talk on Master Shoot tomorrow about adrenochrome in Hogan. And did you see that how it kind of ties into this? And maybe that's tied into the Scientology. And then there's some extreme conspiracy stuff saying that Russia just stopped a vessel from Israel, Gaza. Like, this is all the weird, like the weirdest conspiracy shit, saying it was like health aid and it was headed for West Coast. That there was adrenochrome aboard that had been extracted. I don't know. Like, these are all the deepest, darkest rabbit holes. But when you got Brooke Hogan on TMZ going, I know too much. Don't fuck with me. I know too much. Well, that's how you end the show with a cliffhanger and go, what does she know? What does she know? What's going on? When there's fucking things going now that Scientology may have had Hogan killed because of some adrenochrome expose that he was gonna do. Like, you're like, what the fuck am I listening to? And am I plugged into the Matrix now? And they're just feeding me this shit. Like, but the Brooke Hogan thing wasn't, I'd like to thank his fans. I know my dad loved me and da-da-da. Like, there's no mention of the fans. It goes off on like, stop putting shit out about my family and my life. I will fucking ruin you. To me, that's threats against the David Miscavige and the Church of Scientology, and that their whole PR department is trying to tear down the Hogans so they don't so they spend their money in lawsuits so they can claim Hogan's trust. And even when Brooke's going, I don't want anything from my dad's will, dude, what is going on with Hogan in his end years where he's supposed to be born again Christian, marrying a Scientologist who is in good standing, even though she left Scientology? How often does that happen?
Well, like her parents or grandparents were like to a certain, like a high degree inside of the Scientology church.
What the fuck does that even mean? That you gave David Miscavige $1 million and you learned about Thetans flying out of your asshole up to the fucking Xenu? Like that's what that means? No, it means we raised a daughter that was taking care of us. These people just leave their kids and they go into the Sea Org, and their kids are shipped across country to be raised in camps to be honeypots. So David Miscavige can do this exact shit and fucking get a girl that looks like Brooke to go marry Hogan, get him to sign over the trust so they can fucking then get their money in that, bro. They've got all the lawyers and weirdo fucking cult members to intimidate people. This has been exposed thousands of times. I wish a motherfucking Scientologist would, bro. You're getting fucking taken to the woods into the deep hole, brother. Like that's what, with her saying that, is kind of the unsaid of who's behind this, and that Hogan will not rest peacefully, that Scientology has his hooks into him and they're going to get his money. Now, will Linda try and step up when we've seen her having nervous breakdowns on fucking Facebook and shit? Like, Meanwhile, Nick's at fucking Raw. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. So who's pulling his strings? And even Brooke on this interview is going, I don't like the people that were around them, the money managers. Like, she's saying titles. Is it Bubba the Love Sponge? Is it the guys who are working at Hogan's beach shop, which we've heard some weird things about? Like, who is she talking about without saying it? There's all these open-ended what ifs, like it's going to be a reality show that ends in a court case for Hogan's estate. And that is my prediction of what will happen with this shit, bro.
Because even Brooke said she's not even sure who right now retains the rights to anything with, you know, his properties going forward.
But then on the other side of her mouth, she's going, we're so close. I texted my dad every day. Dude, I know exactly what my dad fucking wants too. Like Hogan, he just wanted to be out in the ocean in the bay. I know right where my dad wants his ashes. You know what I mean? By the Y of the Cricks in 46. So, like Ben said, we're doing the Hogan parade him around for 2-week tour. Make sure everybody's at the funeral with the casket, not listen to his wishes. Like, that's the other thing is like Hogan, an iconic person, obviously across the world for multiple decades, and the value and generation of dollar amount and nationalism and pride. At the end of the day, it's Terry Bollea, a fallible human being, a dude who had to do a ton of dirt to stay on top, to go inspire people and carry this fucking huge weight of like, who the fuck am I really on his shoulders? You know what I mean? And
right.
When she was saying in that interview, he was saying stuff about his third wife, where it's like, it seemed like they've got something on him, like some other blackmail, like another sex tape or another, because that's really who the dude is. Like, you could say New Day rocks, but New Day makes sex tapes. Soraya's a carny chick from years of a family of carny wrestlers. Hogan's over here with Bubba banging up. These are the weird fucking Velveteen Dreams down at the bathhouse. Fucking this guy's over here, you know. Like, these are the weird carnies of wrestling. Doesn't matter if you're at this level or this level. They're going to fucking exist. Pee Wee Herman's going to get caught jacking off through the popcorn bucket. Like, you know what I mean? It just fucking is the biz, Briz. And you want to remember them as an icon, but the reality is they're doing a bunch of shady shit. And when you got involved with a honeypot trap from Church of Scientology, you think they weren't taping you on some shit? That they don't really got them saying some foul racist shit or sex tapes with multiple, or who knows? They
probably set it up and created it.
Yeah, 100% they did. Just like they set up and created their phony ass fucking cult religion. If they can do that, they can fucking tempt you with some fucking blonde hair and a piece of ass that they've been raising since she was probably 3 years old, and they shipped her off to go have 16-year-olds watch her in some fucking weird cult farm, bro, and conditioning them to this. This goes on in our own country. I have no idea how it's allowed. Like, that whole fucking place should be gone.
It's a religion, Ben.
Yeah, sure it is. Sure it is.
It's a religion.
Yeah, so then, hey, Scientology's off the hook. Catholicism, you're on the hook. Let's talk about, like, you want to talk about how these weird organizations that want to stay in power hide hidden freedom or of thought and choice, and, you know, kayfabe texts from thousands of years that tell the true tale, so they can stay in power, so they can continue to molest kids and do fucking
thousands of years.
Yeah,
society after society has been infiltrated.
It's not like I'm just after Scientology. Burn, they all got to burn. Well, you support this political party, but they're doing this too. They're all on the list. Burn them all, dog.
Burn them all.
I got no problem with it because I live in a moral and justified way. You know, I just fucking play a character that doesn't.
There we go. Velveteen was over on the Timmy Baltimore podcast recently as well.
Yeah, big. What's the guy's name? Adonis over there from Top Dollar. This dude seems like he gets tuned up and he's jumping up and down. So a dude who's probably going to stooge a lot. And I love seeing Timmy in studio with high-level guests, man. So make sure you go check out the Limp It Ain't Easy podcast, man, with a new drop.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's a real enough deal to end it on there, Ben.
Yeah, y'all, man. Fucking good talk as always, brother. I'm gonna grab some lunch. Hopefully, you guys have a big week to close out the summer. It's the last summer in the sun, so hopefully you manifested whatever you needed to last night and sent it out into the universe with the 6-planet alignment, and maybe we'll ease a little tension. Today will be a day of openness and reckoning, you know what I mean? So hopefully everything goes well, and I just feel like the kettle is boiling. You're just waiting for it to boil over. Like, what's the next thing? I like all the alien talk, so we'll keep an eye on that. New Bigfoot videos too. But I'll be back tomorrow on Master Shoot Theater and Raw and SmackDown review to break it all down with Vince and Stevie, hopefully. So, y'all, you guys have a good day. Hacker Hamin, Art of the B to the V. It's the Monday locker room. You know who it is.
No bread, no water, just meat. That's all he wants.